Okay, this is the Itel P40 4G, a very affordable smartphone, guys. Let me hear that again. A very affordable smartphone. You can literally pick one of these up for less than $100. If you're in Ghana, this costs less than 1,000 Ghana cedi. In this video, we're going to see what this is all about. So as usual, stick around. This is my review of the Itel P40 4G. Let's get it. Like we always do, let's check out what comes inside the box. Inside the box, you can find the phone itself, a screen protector, a protective case for the phone, a SIM card ejector tool, an 18 watts charger, a micro USB cable, an earpiece, and the device itself. And to be honest, for a device at this price range, I still don't know how they manage to have all these inside the box. There are devices that cost 10 times the price of this and they don't even come with anything like that inside the box. So I really appreciate the fact that they keep having some of these things inside the box for a device at this price category. That is really nice. And for the device itself, it actually looks really cool. It has a glass front and a plastic build. The device has this pattern design at the back that I really like. Nice way to hide fingerprints and stuff. And the device actually feels really good in the hand. It has flat edges, but the sides are not actually very sharp, so it's not uncomfortable when you hold it in the hands. That is cool too. On the right side, you get a volume rocker and a power button. At the bottom, you get a 3.5 headphone jack, a micro USB port, a speaker, and a microphone. On the left side, you get a SIM card tray and an SD card slot. At the back, you have what looks like a dual camera setup, a flash, and a fingerprint sensor. So all in all, for the design, I think this looks really cool for the price point. It's actually very comfortable in the hand. I like the pattern design at the back. It does a really good job at hiding fingerprints, so that's good. The placement of the fingerprint sensor is actually very reachable too, so that is also comfortable. To the screen, we have a 6.6-inch HD Plus water drop full screen. It's an IPS panel and it's pretty decent for the display of this price category. It's also 720p. The device has amazing colors, gets bright too. YouTube videos max to about 720p. And if you're consuming content on this, we are not going to have any challenges with it. I keep mentioning the price because a device that costs about $80 and you have such a nice looking screen, you can't actually be complaining so much. I'm definitely not a big fan of the chin and the water drop camera design at the top, but like I said, it costs just $80. How can you be complaining about this? But in general, I actually think the display actually looks really decent for the price point. The colors are actually really good. As usual, we don't have a stereo speaker setup here, so that is also something that you should get used to. And it's not going to be the brightest when you're directly under sunlight, but if you're inside, it should be okay for you. This comes with a Unisoc chipset. It's an octa-core processor. You also get Itel's OS 8.6, Android 12 installed, 64GB of storage, and 7GB of RAM. The RAM over here is actually 4GB, but they also implemented a memory fusion that we see in Techno and Infinix devices. So in general, you have 7GB of RAM on this device. That is actually very impressive again. And performance for this device is actually okay for the price point. Definitely don't be pushing this device, but everything that you use it for, basic stuff, it's going to actually do it. But if you try and compare it to other devices, you're going to see it's actually not the fastest and it's not the slowest that I've seen, but it's definitely leaning to the slower side if you actually compare the animation speed and everything that comes with this device. My actual little worry was the fact that application support on this might actually be an issue. On the App Store, when I even tried to Geekbench this guy, I couldn't even download the application because it wasn't supported on the device. That was actually a problem for me. I couldn't even download Asphalt to actually play on this, so that was also a problem for me. But I was able to install Call of Duty and PUBG, so that was actually really cool. You can actually play Call of Duty and PUBG on this with no issues. With Call of Duty, you can actually play at the lowest setting, but it actually plays. And when you're playing it, the device doesn't get extremely warm or extremely hot, so that is also really cool. This was supposed to be their gaming device, and yes, you can game on this. So for the price point, I think they are going to be okay with that. But all in all, for the performance of this device, it's actually what you expect if you are picking up a device for this price point. I know this is all about about price, but yes, it's actually very, very affordable. So you shouldn't be complaining if you purchase this. So that is really cool. Now let's talk about where this phone actually really shines. This comes with a 6,000 milliamp hour battery and also comes with an 18 watt charger inside the box. The 6,000 milliamp hour battery can easily take you about 3 days for light usage. So that is really cool. You can literally go without having a power bank with you anywhere that you go. So I really like that. And it actually really performs really well. I can see somebody using this for 3 days straight without actually charging it. So that is really good. So I like the fact that they put a 6,000 milliamp hour battery in here. That is very, very appreciated. Before I hop into the cameras, let's talk about the fingerprint sensor at the back real quick. To be honest, I like the placement, but 60% of the time for me, it actually fails recognizing my fingerprint. So that is not fun, but I don't know what to say about that. The fingerprint sensor isn't the fastest, or it doesn't make entering my device really cool. So I end up just using the pin that I use for the security on this phone. So that is also a little bit downside when it comes to this device. Now let's talk about the cameras. This actually boasts of a 13 megapixel for the main sensor at the back. And these are sample pictures and footage that you can actually get from it. This is a front video camera test on the Itel P40. From the viewfinder, it doesn't look bad at all. It's manageable. Let me know what you guys think about the skin tones, the microphone, dynamic range. See, I'm not expecting anything great from dynamic range, but that's it. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. And this is a front camera video sample test. Walking slowly. And as you can see, I think the camera it's also one of the sacrifices that they give up for this phone of this price category. The cameras are not so impressive for me. And once again, I can't complain because it costs as low as $80. So all in all, what do I think about the Itel P40? This I'll call an entry-level device because it's very, very affordable, and the specs on this guy is literally something that you can use for your day-to-day activities. You can even play some game on it, so that is actually very, very impressive for the price category. And you can do most of your daily or normal routines like social media on this device without actually breaking a sweat. So that is really cool. And the battery on here is actually very solid. A 6,000 milliamp hour battery is actually really cool for this price point. You definitely won't be thinking about your battery if you have this. And the OS wasn't really terrible. It's just that it's a little bit slow for me. Apart from that, you can actually manage using this as a secondary device or a main device depending on the kind of usage or what you use your phone for. So all in all, this is actually a usable device. Due to the fact that this is very affordable, I'm not going to complain so much about it. The price actually negates any kind of problem that I think I have with this, because for $80, guy, $80, everything that comes in the box, $80, this is actually really cool. So all in all, what do you guys think about the Itel P40? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new to the channel, as usual, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Peace. I'm out.